similar to that, but there's like two core mechanisms within this. One is like you set your own goals, like no matter what those goals are, and your accountability partners help you achieve those things. Those can be small, large, so on and so forth. The second one is set up goals that are more aligned to longevity. So if you think about physical activity alone, from a longevity perspective, you're looking at, I need to do sprint training, I need to have some VO2 max stuff, I need to have cardio-related things, and flexibility. So we structure it based on, do you want to work out 2 days a week? And if so, this is your starter pack sort of stuff.
Gotcha.
Right? That's how it's done. Go ahead.
Two questions. What is your revenue model? How do you plan to make revenue from your customers? And second, what is your customer acquisition strategy?
So from a revenue model, it's twofold. Like one is the freemium model. And from a freemium perspective, like I said, the core social aspect of it, the accountability partnership, et cetera, that is free. But for the premium features on that thing, which is meal planning, resilience score, being able to track your progress month over month over month from your lifespan perspective or health span perspective, that costs like $5 a month. Right. And the second revenue source is the B2B side of things. Your fitness coaches, youth sports, et cetera. And per coach, it is $9.99 a month.
What's your customer acquisition strategy?
So we're experimenting with it. So far, it's been like relatively organic, but we are noticing some trends with respect to using TikTok, Instagram ads. Those are two things that seem to like get the initial pull, and then using micro influencers, like not really large influencers. So think of influencers who have about 10,000 followers. Somebody like who have a lot more of a pull with their following. And those sort of micro-influencers are an area that we're starting to explore.
Yeah, like you said, we are.
Use this.
Is it working?
I don't know.
That mic is for the live stream.
I think, like you said, we are experimenting a lot with our growth strategies. One thing we did notice is like we get a lot of traffic from different parts of the world, like from Africa, like Costa Rica, and like so we're just trying to see like why and like what those pulls are and like where it makes sense for us to double down on. But we're definitely a lot in an experiment stage, and we will continue to do so for the next few months for sure.
Ashla?
Have you considered adding like a product like a scale into
So,
it?
but
Because
like,
I know you want to stay away from fitness, but especially if coaches are wanting to use this to track who they're working with,
Yep.
like a BMI scale or something like that.
that is a wonderful question.
Yeah.
Sorry, like I'm using the mic to make sure that if it goes into live stream, they can
This
hear
is
the
the live
answer.
stream mic.
It's a wonderful question. We don't want to be owning any of the hardware stuff, but we're absolutely open to partnerships. In fact, Shri just started conversations with Body Spec, like the DEXA scan and those sort of things. So partnerships with these hardware providers and the device providers and be able to integrate all of the data to provide insights. And that's the right path for us.
Yeah. Sorry.
So what do you do to process the data? Do you have like ML models or AI behind the scenes?
We do. We absolutely do. Some parts of it are mostly linear models. Like, so think of this as it's a very nonlinear curve, but you operate within the linear portions of that curve, right? And there's like tons of like research that's publicly available. So it's not something that is patented or it is like we're not trying to like create some secret sauce that we don't want to share. Some of this is publicly available longevity research that we're bringing to the masses. Go ahead.
Regulatory affairs nerd question. What guardrails do you have in place to keep this from being regulated as a medical device?
So like we are very clear that these are all estimates. For example, when I say it's a health span thing, health span increase, like we specifically say that it's not a guarantee, but based on your age and your current lifestyle, this is approximately like what the average person would increase from a health span perspective. So we're not diagnosing anything, we're not prescribing anything. So from that perspective, like it doesn't come as a medical device from a regulatory perspective.
Yeah, I saw the mention of being used by physical therapists, and that kind of what made me.
So, yeah, no, makes sense. Like from a physical therapist perspective, they mostly look at this not as a prescriptive device, but mostly as an adherence device. So it's like the patients meet physical therapists like once a week or so,
but physical therapists tell them, like, go do these 2 things at home next Thursday and Saturday before you see me again on Tuesday. Or they're doing this on Thursday and Saturday.
There's like a big retention issue for like a lot of these coaches, fitness, like fitness coaches and PT coaches as well. That if they don't do it intermediately, like they don't follow the plan, they don't see the results, and end of the day they leave. So they want to make sure that there is stickiness and they continue to do what they're supposed to do.
I think Shahar had his reign before you. Oh, Dr. Kirk?
Yeah, well, I'll say what you probably would expect me to say or ask. So people with significant disabilities and older people have significant issues with being sedentary, which leads to lots of health issues and obesity. So I just wanted to ask if you've paid attention or taken care around the accessibility of your product.
So the libraries we use by default should be accessible, but I will recheck a bunch of those.
Is it an app?
It is an app. And so, for example, like the labeling of different buttons, the layout of the buttons, so on and so forth, the libraries that we use should provide it, but I need to test that.
Apple has really, really good
Yeah.
standards for app accessibility.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that. We'll for sure.
I think he had his hand raised
Yeah,
before
I
you.
just want to say I love this because I have been in physical therapy and they give me the packet. I'll do the stretch once, and then it's
Yeah.
gone. And everything gets shuffled in the car. Similar thing with my girlfriend as well. She's a dental assistant. She's got a lot of pain in her neck. We get the papers, and you do it for a couple of days, and the adherence is not there. So then we're also on our phones all the time.
That's
for
right.
work and everything. So I think this is an amazing idea.
So I say, like, download the app, make you be your accountability partner for your girlfriend and vice versa, and make sure you kick each other's butts.
I love it. Would I be able to like snap a photo of what the physical therapist gives me to digitize it, or is that something that they would?
So from a coach perspective, the coach plans, they can upload JPEGs or PDFs. But from your perspective, you can always like put a goal there saying like do these like strength trainings, so on and so forth. And the app will kind of like keep reminding you. Your accountability partners will remind you. Sorry, like Adam behind you, like there was a hand before you.
Have him ask first.
All right, Adam, go ahead.
That was nice, thank you. Actually, it's just brainstorming a little bit. You guys got a great idea. I love the accountability factor because when I started doing that with certain accountability partners that shall remain nameless, that might be in the back room, I boosted my compliance with doing it a lot more. So I think you're definitely onto something. One of the things that just as I was watching your kind of scalability as you move into your next price points, right? So now you're talking about your, from freemium to premium. One of the things that I think is interesting about the idea around the kind of the social aspect of this is sharing socially what's working for them. So it's not just all the stuff that's out there, right? But it's like, hey, I'm from, Chile, and I've got a recipe that's really in line with this thing, and it works really well, and here's how many calories it is, and all that. Just kind of keeping that social network going and building each other's practice. That just like.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful idea.
That's basically that's how we initially did a lot of experimentation on Facebook
Yeah.
groups, and that is like one of the things that I think that's one of the reasons we started because
Yeah.
we realized it works.
Yeah, it's really valuable. It's a great idea.
Okay. You had a question, sorry.
As you got answered, I was trying to know what the differentiator is with Strava. Is it really just the accountability? Is that the way?
Yes, so think of it, the biggest thing is that Strava is there like when you do things, and WeSweat is there when you start to miss things. Right. So, but 90% of us, like, this is what's more applicable.
Research that actually works.
Sorry?
Have you done any research that actually works?
So there's a whole bunch of scientific studies on this thing, sociological studies as well, that shows that having accountability partners, even just sharing your goal with someone else, that helps you achieve the goal. I think it's 65% increase in the probability of achieving the goal. And if you start doing things with the other person, then I think it goes up by 95%, right? But most of us don't have the luxury of being able to do with the other person. So the next best is like sharing those goals and have the other person hold us accountable, right? So that's the mechanic that we're trying to use here. Like you have,
I
Kristen.
want to ask about the overhead for
Uh-huh.
So the watch itself has a very sensitive accelerometer and orientation sensor on it. That I would think that, like one of the reasons that Fitbit was successful is they could determine the number of steps that you took without your having to give any input.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you have a manual input for the person describing what they're doing?
Yeah, it's a,
Sensors.
so by default, you just take a screenshot of whatever you're using, or you just type it up. In fact, this morning, Nathan, he onboarded and he just made a statement saying had a great workout at 7 a.m. Right? And that is kind of good enough because, again, it's people versus people. We're not trying to validate like how much intensity you worked out with, so on and so forth. It's more about, did you move? Did you do things today? And that's for his accountability partners, right? Now, having said that, like we're also like using, so apart from, there's integrations already there, but apart from that, there's a bunch of things that you can detect without having any of these devices as well. So for example, you can detect your heart rate and heart rate variability using a pulse oximeter kind of model, from using just the camera on the phone. And that's something that is coming within the premium features.
Yeah, so I think, just to answer your question, right, there is a lot of friction to just work out, right? Someone wouldn't go to the app to make up saying that I did like an amazing 5 miles run and then post it to a friend just to like get out of like someone nudging you. I feel like that takes a lot of effort. They much rather like just go for like 10 minutes. Okay, I'm done. Like, so our model is like not to penalize someone for like not being accurate. It's just like, hey, someone is waiting for you, so you just check in and make sure that you submit something. So at least that's our philosophy.
Well, the question I was more asking is that the ease of data, it's a data acquisition.
Right.
Case, and that lessening the overhead for data acquisition will get people to use it more consistently. The example I gave was Fitbit, where you don't have to give it any input for it to be able to do the recording for you. And I'm not necessarily saying that somebody's going to go to the overhead of cheating to say I had a great workout when they actually didn't do anything, but that you can say, you can at least measure how much they walked, how much they ran, how much they biked, how much they worked out, just your bench pressing weights and other stuff like that, so they can automatically get that data.
I think that is fair, like using the accelerometers.
Yeah, so you want to reduce that friction of use as much as possible so the application doesn't fall into disuse.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I appreciate the feedback. Go ahead.
So you glossed over one word that really stuck out to me and then never talked about it, and that was gamify.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
So I'd really like, so my Duolingo gets so mad at me at the end of the night.
We love Duolingo, by the way. It's an inspiration, yeah.
Right, and this is it's a kind of an artificial nudge, right? Like to log in, but I would kind of put that in the gamify category.
Yeah.
So can you help me understand, like, what are some of the gamify applications or rewards or badges, whatever you're thinking to gamify this? Because like, the reason why I ask that is because I think that's just kind of where we're at today, is that people do like these
it's
accolades.
You need to convert like a 50-year game into a daily thing and make people show up. So it's the classic PBLs, right? Like the points, badges, and leaderboards, sort of things. And that generally tends to work from a gamification perspective, right? The one is like this sprig. This is my plant, and I'm growing it every day. And it grows based on the goals that I have. As long as I'm hitting my goals, it continues to grow. I miss a goal, it starts wilting a little bit. So like it's like,
There you go.
She's not been that consistent. By the way, I'm her accountability partner. I just nudged her last night too. So she better work out today.
It's like a Tamagotchi. Just you got to feed it every day.
Yeah, it's a Tamagotchi. Exactly right. And then you also have leaderboards within individual teams. So like almost everything is organized as teams. Again, our philosophy is that like if you want to be there when people don't show up, things got to be a little bit more private, right? You don't want to publicly announce to like 10,000 people that you're not doing shit, right? So it's mostly about there's 3 or 4 people. If they notice you're not doing stuff, that's good enough, right? So like everything is based out of teams, and when you go to a team, like for example, this is with my parents, by the way, like, and my mother actually kicks both my dad's and my butt in terms of number of steps she takes. Like she's consistently hitting like 20,000 steps. I have no idea how she does it. I feel she's gamifying it, but whatever. Right, so you have the chat, you have the overview, and it shows the streaks, it shows the points that you made. So there's leaderboard for every group as well.
Can you show the people online?
Oh, yeah, right there.
You need closer. You need to go closer.
So in terms of activities, points, there's leaderboards, and then you can create challenges, right? Like, so there's like several different groups that people have created these, like, 10,000 steps a day challenge, March streak challenge, like, hey, have at least a 14-day streak in March sort of thing. And those sort of mechanics, game mechanics, seem to work well.
Okay, thanks for answering my question.
Usually I start with this problem statement, but in this case, I'm going to end with it. So usually what happens is I'll have a pretty good, like a workout streak going on, and normally, right? Like 3 months, I'm in, I'm building good. Then something happens, I skip 1 day, right? Without knowing, it's like 2-3 days, and then it's like a week. And before I realize it's a month, and then I gain like 5 pounds. If someone would have stopped me that first week saying that, hey, what's happening? Why are you missing? Like, all you need is, like, this has been over the years, and it's been consistent across friends as well. Like, all you need is, like, hey, someone is like, why are you missing for this week? Like, I didn't see you. And that's it. Like, if you know someone is noticing you, you'll get back in the first week and stop that, like, cascading effects. And that is where this app really come into picture and like help. It's not about tracking, like how intense, and all I need that one step, and then I'm intense. Again, I'll be back in the game. So, yeah. If that's your problem statement, then we spent. Get on the app.
iOS and Android.
Well, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I'll get them clipped up. We'll be more prepared this time. We'll get you clipped in.
Thank you. How do I? Oh, thank you.
Top right. 2707.
2707. Thank you.
Took me forever.
Well, I appreciate you. Oh, entire screen. It's fine. All right. Thank you very much for giving me the time to present my my project. I'll be sharing DocuScout today with you guys. My name is Ruben. I'll start introducing myself. I didn't think about that before, but my name is Ruben Moreno. I'm the founder and inventor of DocuScout. I built this project 1.5 years ago, and I've been working on data engineering and software engineering for the past 10 years. Spent 7 years at Amazon. That's how I ended up moving here to Seattle 9 years ago. And I've been working on my own consulting company for the past 4 years. We have 10 engineers and 3 designers in our team. And we build data engineering and software engineering solutions for small and medium businesses. DocuScout is our software as a service tool. It's a quoting tool specifically for distributors and manufacturers. It's essentially an AI sales assistant that speaks your business, and I'll tell you why. So I'll start with the problem. First off, if anyone has here worked at sales, especially at a showroom, you'll know that a lot of the time you do on selling is, clicking buttons, registering data in systems, and then saving it all in an Excel sheet and then sending it to your finance team for them to approve, and then they send a quote. So we found that sales reps lose about 17 hours per week on emails and pricing, CRM updates, and all these processes that are super important. They need to happen. So that's kind of like what we're solving. Why now? It's okay. So the solution is an AI sales assistant, but you'll see how this is kind of taking its own shape and form. I don't like to describe my tool as an AI sales assistant because it's more than that. It's more of a quoting suite, quoting tool. That's what it does. It just takes in requests and then produces quotes that are able to synchronize and integrate with your ERPs, operating systems, instantly. And the most important part and the thing that I'm most excited about is that it talks, right? It speaks your business. You can actually talk to your machine. You can talk to your mobile phone. And the experience that we're trying to build is as if you're talking to an actual salesperson. And the salesperson is helping you navigate through the shopping experience for that showroom or that sale, and helping you achieve the sale or do the sale. Our tool has some skills. The cool thing about this is that it's basically like an email assistant with a sales assistant connected. So you connect your email, and there's an AI assistant that's reading your emails and identifying quoting requests. There's a feature called one-click quoting. You can just click it. It produces a quote that synchronizes with your ERP, Salesforce, SAP, NetSuite. And all of this is kind of, there's a lot of meat here, but I'm just skimming over it because what I'm most excited about is to show you the product. So DocuScout.com is available in DocuScout.com in this domain. Oh, I need to sign out. I didn't even look at time, so please let me know if I'm running out or anything. So the first company I talked to you about, this is my consulting company, data engineering, software engineering consulting, CodeStackSystems.com. This is my team. This is the team that this is the team of engineers that is building DocuScout.com. And DocuScout.com promises to turn your quote requests into a closed deal 10 times faster. It looks to do that through the email assistant and the Quote OS functionality. And I'll show you real quick because I don't know if I have enough time. So basically, you log in. It wants you to connect your email. Once you connect your email, like I already did it, it's like a couple of clicks. You'll see two labels. One is unread emails. It identifies unread emails, and then it identifies unread emails that have a quote request. So these are the ones that you want to click as a salesperson instead of skimming over your entire inbox. Hey, I'm remodeling my house in Los Cabos. I would like a quote request for the following items. So there's two ways to go about it in DocuScout. You can just click one click quote. It produces the quote, logs it in the dashboard. It's connected to SAP. In this case, these are Sub-Zero Wolf & Cove items. So they sell refrigerators, grills, and ovens. And so this person wants to remodel their house, and they want to buy this product. So the normal process is I log into the inventory system. I see if they're available. There's a whole bunch of steps. But this system's already connected to the inventory system. It's already connected to SAP and the discounts logic. So I can click one click quote. It'll produce the quote. I think since, so there's a bug right now, but I'll show you what it should produce through this one. So here I'll just do the same. So we're creating the quote through the email, but doing the other option, which is like the quote generation tab. So I can just either start speaking. So this has like a speech to text. So I can just click to start speaking to it. That reproduces the experience of you talking to a person. And then it'll transcribe what it's writing to you. It's essentially like an interaction with ChatGPT. That's what we're trying to mimic here. So it's essentially you're typing, you're talking to it. And what happens here is that for this account, I already have the product catalog for Sub-Zero configured because we did a quick connect integration to their SAP instance. We were able to bring their product catalog. So DocuScout knows what these products are. So essentially, those are kind of like the avenues for you to create the quote. I asked it, hey, Liam is remodeling his house. He needs this units of this SKUs. And apply a distributor's discount. So the tool says, perfect, I'll do it. So I just need to confirm it. And once I confirm it, it'll produce a quote template that is now logged in our system attached to this account. And it now synchronizes to their SAP or if they use Salesforce. So it'll push that quote to those systems once it's done. So that's how we deliver the promise of, from quote request to a quote in your system immediately. And in order for us to do that, we had to, connect the SAP instance. It's just like an API, and verify the product catalog and add the business rules. Whether we can either we can pull them from the system if they already exist and are configured in the right template, or we can just manually configure the rules. And this is how DocuScout can speak your business and help you create quotes instantly. And that's it. That's all.
What industries or verticals do you see this being most used by?
Manufacturing and distribution. Specifically,
I'm done talking.
specifically machinery, equipment, like grills, refrigerators, and ovens. The thing about this type of products is that their sales life cycle is very unique. It's not like you just roll up and you can pick it up and leave. There's issues with availability of inventory. There's issues with sometimes you need a specific appliance, but you need the customized variant from it. So it's a very high touch sales process. That's why we're targeting companies that have showrooms, like Caterpillar or Bobcat, or the like Wolf, Cove, or Sub-Zero. Equipment, and it's like multi-industry. So I struggle to kind of pinpoint the industry. But right now we're targeting distributors and manufacturers. We're working with one of the showrooms of Sub-Zero Wolf and Cove, and we're looking to work with the 179 other showrooms in the country of Sub-Zero Wolf and Cove. Yeah, thank you. And our product is ready. Oh, sorry.
I want to ask about, you mentioned that it integrates with SAP and Salesforce. If I were to deploy this, how long would it take to do the integration between this tool and those systems?
Absolutely. It depends on the amount of data you have in your instances, but it will integrate in less than a week, and that's considering manual testing as well. So the data dump, it lasts it's like within hours. It shouldn't last more than 3 hours.
Now, is this interface read-only? In other words, is this only reading from the product database in SAP or ERP or other ERP systems, or does it actually write into
It also
change-
writes.
It also changes data.
It also changes data. Yeah, that's how we log the quotes in the system once we produce them.
Okay, so it's just logging the quotes is the only thing it writes. The system
That's
doesn't
correct.
mutate anything like my inventory.
It does not. It doesn't change, and it's actually on the SAP modules, it's a read-only, and it writes only to the module where the quotes are produced, which I don't remember what the name is. Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you.
Hey, I have 2 questions for you that are a little tough.
Yes,
but,
please.
maybe someone's got to ask them. Number one, when I was researching, I saw there's another company online also called DocuScout,
Yeah.
run by Metered. So do you guys have anything to do with them? And then my other question is, have you ever met anyone from DocuSign, and what do they think about the fact that your name and logo looks just like their old one?
Yeah, for the first question, I don't know who they are, and we have nothing to do with them. And for the second question, no, and I don't know what they think of it. I don't care.
So could you still run your business even though you have the same name as someone else? Would you guys need to grab all the IP, the register and trademark that before them?
Oh yeah, so we actually registered and trademarked DocuScout. We hired a legal firm here in Seattle to help us do all of that. We actually rolled up our LLC, CodeStacks LLC, into DocuScout's new LLC.
The other guys might need to cease and desist.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just focused on getting customers, getting the word out there that there's a new solution for CPQ tooling. Most showrooms that I've talked with, they use SAP or Salesforce, or are exploring using more novel ERP solutions like Odoo or Soho. We can integrate to all of those. I guess it would be amazing to get acquired by DocuSign. Sorry?
Other input streams like Yelp or Slack that you considered?
Oh, thank you. Yes, that is. Thank you for that question. Actually, this is what's most exciting for me. I guess I just miss it because I'm trying to explain what the tool is. But DocuScout is looking to be an extension of your sales team. It's looking to be synthetic or digital salespeople. And the way to achieve that is through having a ubiquitous experience. So, I showed you the one-click quote creation flow with the email assistant. I showed you the quote creation flow with kind of like the talk to the model. That is the idea. Like, you can text this tool. It'll have a number for you. Once you configure it, you can text, hey, I just got a house in Cabo. I want to outfit it with Sub-Zero Wolf & Cove in the first room and in the first floor and the fourth floor. I don't know. Some people live really extravagantly. But they need to solve this problems for themselves. So, like, the idea is, instead of sending a WhatsApp message or an SMS to a salesperson, you would send it to this tool. You'll know if the items that you're looking for are available or not. It'll help you create your purchase order, and then you can bring it to the salesperson, and you'll have a smoother experience buying your products. And as a sales team, you'll be able to quote much more too. But yeah, thank you for that question. The idea is that we create ubiquitous experiences through these different channels.
Hey, what is your workflow engine behind the scenes? Is it like an LLM or do you
Yeah.
build it yourself?
No, we built, it's an LLM. It's all built on AWS. We're actually AWS partners as well. We're also looking for implementation partners in the AWS ecosystem if there's any here. But yeah, it's all built with AWS. I started building it actually with ChatGPT's API, but then we migrated it to Anthropic ones in Cloud Haiku 3.5 in Bedrock in AWS. And right now we're exploring using AWS's, I think it's called Luna. It's basically Claude, but it's cheaper for us to use. So, and the experience is the same. Honestly, as a builder, building this tool, like a quoting experience, I see experience parity in terms of what LLM I'm using. So the LLM is not super important for us. What matters most for us is our data mart, kind of like the data architecture behind the processing of the engines rule with the product catalog, and then generate the quote generation. The LLM in the back end is mostly just like an intake form, where we're like translating the input from the email or from the, yeah.
Just a quick question about kind of like your ideal user. Is it like the salesperson on the floor specifically, or is it like contractors that are coming in to buy? I know that, you know, as a former, in a past life, salesperson, it's kind of hard to sit through more training and, you know, adopt a new tool, and there's all sorts of other tools out there. Just curious as to, you know, how you're thinking about tackling that problem.
Absolutely, and I think that's like one of the biggest challenges that we'll have, just like implementation with the teams and the team's resistance to new tools. Because when we talk about new software, they immediately think about the SAP implementation that they were part of and all the brain damage that brings to everyone. That's so something that's super important for me as a builder for this tool is that this really feels like a human experience. Like you're really talking to a person. And if the moment when it doesn't, it transfers you to the next workflow where a person can help you. For the salesperson, the idea is that you don't need any training in terms of how to interact with the tool, because it's like talking to another salesperson that knows what the business is doing, the processes. I guess the training would be in terms of how to configure the business rules engine and the product catalog, but for that reason, we simplified the tool. It has 4 tabs that matter, and we're trying to reduce the number of screens as much as possible, so that when you come in, it's because you're editing a business rule, and it's just like super simple. It looks like a toy. That's kind of like the idea. And so that we get that buy-in from the sales team, and so that when we show it to them, it feels like something that will help them instead of them helping the process.
So when you're selling this, like who do you see as the champion internally, and who's going to actually like go and use the tool itself?
Yes. So the territory sales manager is kind of like the person that we're targeting for the sale, because that person's the one that has the sales goal, and they're the ones who want to quote more. So they're the ones who are kind of pushing in new system implementations. But there's definitely like a senior salesperson that we need to kind of enamor or like have their buy-in from the get-go. And help them understand that this will really help them get back those 15 to 17 hours a week that they're losing to just working with tools, right? So that's kind of what we're just trying to get the buy-in. Right now we're working with one showroom. excited to work with more.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I've actually also got a ERP question. What's your plan for ensuring like ongoing compatibility, like if SAP rolls a forced update or anything like that?
Yeah, I have people in my team. Literally, it's part of the SOPs of the operational excellence program. Check compatibility of the software tools. SAP and Salesforce are very tricky. Even when working with SAP and Salesforce consultants. So I think, I don't want to use the word hope, but no, but just work hard at, trying to get ahead of it and try to be proactive. And when, things happen, be quick to react.
Last question. We're going to get some lunch if everybody's okay with that. I've got a few messages.
Have you encountered a problem with the context window? Because if you have an extensive database, I think you have to. And how do you solve it?
We solved it through MCP. So the first MVP I built, it was a RAG model that where I uploaded some Excel sheets or some CSV files, and that was like the product catalog.